up? Welcome back to the podcast where I just called my co-host Mo, and that's not his name. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but that's not his name.
I'm changing my name to Mo.
Shit, then my joke won't work.
Then
We've ruined it all.
But I gotta be called Little Mo.
Lil Mo.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but like people are like weirdly scared of me. Like you'll be in a bar or something, and somebody will be like, Little Mo was in here the other day, and then somebody else will go, Little Mo. He didn't cause any trouble, did he? Little
Being
Mo.
called
And everybody's
Lil
just like,
something is so
that's
cool
why,
anymore.
that's why it's like because it's like you'd expect like Big Mo to be intimidating. It's like, Big Mo's coming. It's like, okay, so I'm scared of Big Mo
so much that it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah. But so Little Mo, it's like and none of that fake out bullshit either, where it's like you say Little Mo, but the guy comes in and he's like 20 feet tall. It's like, no, I want the guy to come in and be like 4 foot, but be genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
Little Mo.
He's gonna make up for it in different ways. That's how it works.
Somebody draw out of Little Mo.
please, someone, for
Please,
God's
Little
sake, send us some sort of fan art at Tweets Badly. We need it. We're desperate for attention. For the love of God, please. Oh no! But if you do want to give us some attention, then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Streams Badly YouTube channel on YouTube. You can listen to this podcast in audio form or video form. Video forms on YouTube, audio forms on all good streaming platforms. And you can also follow at Tweets Badly and follow us on Twitch, Streams Badly on Twitch, all of that junk. Coming up in today's podcast, there's a new season of Umbrella Academy. I want to talk about a thing that's just come back into my mind that I've always found really weird. I had Midsummer Celebration Barbecue and more stuff. But first, how you doing, Judd? How's it going?
Doing pretty good.
How you been feeling in yourself, like in your heart?
Good, actually. It's weird that you say that, because I was thinking recently about how I'm quite happy and I'm quite content recently.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Gross. That's not the usual vibe on this podcast. Usually it's
everything
is shit, we're all gonna die.
I know, it's weird. It's
Cute.
kind of like when you sort of forget about the constant fear of total nuclear annihilation from the hands of Russia. It's like, it's all right if you forget that there was like a virus that kept us all inside for 2 years and like broiled our fucking minds. That is fine. It is fine. It's going. Things are going okay.
It's like
things
okay if you forget about all the absolutely horrific things. If you forget about anything that's bad, then things might be good.
I don't think I've seen as many homeless people on the street. But for me personally, things are going good.
Not as many homeless people now. At one point maybe, but
yeah.
Oh God, what a disastrous world! When you
I know. There's wars.
Nothing's bad, then it's probably good.
No. See, here's the thing. So long as nothing bad's happening to me, then everything's good.
Nothing bad that you know of.
Yeah.
That sounds like some sort of threat.
Things are conspiring against me. Fucking events are being put into motion.
Well, speaking of events being put into motion, Judd, do you remember many podcasts ago you watched Umbrella Academy off the back of my recommendation? And
yes.
I really liked Umbrella Academy. In the first season, it was the first season I watched, and then the second season was coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna watch the second season as well. Maybe you should watch it because the first one was really good. And I will admit that I'm trying to find it on our spreadsheet now. One sec. The second season wasn't as good as the first one, but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's still all right. Where did I rank it?
You gave it 68 out of 100. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a spreadsheet where we rank every movie and TV we've ever seen. Currently, there's 1,020 entries into this spreadsheet. We also put like our rankings against like all of Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and all of that sort of thing. on it. And yeah, so that's what we're talking about when we refer to rating it out of 100. You gave it 68. I gave it 85. I really liked the first series of it.
Yeah.
But the latest series, Judd.
I've not started it. I've not watched it. So
it's not bad. It's not bad,
okay,
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm still like enjoying it, and there's quite a bit of excitement to be had. But it's now at a point, and if you remember, kind of the back end of the last series, it wasn't tied together, but it was like there's not really. They've kind of backed themselves into a corner story-wise, and you can feel that. Like there's some interesting concepts they've like managed to tease out, but they've just not been able to go very far with them because like there's all sorts of shit and jumbled like stuff that's gone on previously that it just becomes like a bit of a confusing mess at this point, which is a really difficult thing to juggle when you're doing kind of like a mysterious sci-fi kind of adventure thing, you know? Which it's hard because if you pull it off, then it's brilliant. But if you don't, it's just a bit of a confusing mess. And the story's getting a little bit on that end. It's not all the way that way, but it could be better. Also, some of the acting is just shit in it this time. Some of the acting, it's like, I know that these people are meant to be like superheroes and they've seen all sorts of stuff at this point. But something absolutely fucking mental will happen, and they just stood there and they'll go, huh, this is an interesting development. And it's like, I get that like that's kind of played for comedy and kind of like almost heroicism a bit now, but just fucking no! Like, you're about to be crushed by a massive pillar and you're not going, oh shit! Or like one of your loved ones is about to die. Or one of your loved ones is dead, has been literally like voice activated to blow their own brain off. I'm not saying that actually happens in the show. I'm trying to come up with things that haven't happened in case of spoilers. But
right,
you know, if someone forces your like most loved person you've just managed to reconnect with, you've just managed to find them after all these years, they're forced to blow the brains out, and you're like, oh, you killed them. You killed them. You know, it's like, what? No, have an absolute fucking meltdown. You know. It's like the acting and the reactions are just off, and it just kind of felt like they were all going through the motions and just kind of playing themselves at this point.
How did they handle Elliot Page's transition? Because I was pretty. I was thinking. I wonder how they're gonna handle that, because that's obviously it's like just a big thing. I honestly thought, I was thinking, I wonder if just Elliot will just keep playing the part of what the fuck was
Vanya? I've saved my thoughts on that till last because, to be honest, I've got like don't hate on me for this. I'm trying to approach it from kind of the perspective that makes the most sense to me currently. If anyone has a different perspective and wants to tell me why my perspective's wrong or like problematic or anyway, feel free to. I'm completely open. Tweet at Tweets Badly and let me know the thoughts on it.
Tell him why he's a sexist pig, a racist. Tell him. Because somebody's going to tell him. I've been telling him for years, but he doesn't listen.
Some more interactions. We need that. But I think, to be honest, I know that I was about to say, I know that she's transitioned, and I think that's probably still fine, but they wouldn't like that. I don't fucking know. I'm going to use they. They've transitioned their identifying as male now. Whether your thoughts on that or not, irrelevant. That's what's happening. To me, that shouldn't have to affect any characters you play. You know?
That's what I thought. I'm like, well, surely this is an identity separate from your identity, so it shouldn't really matter. But obviously, I'm not a trans person, so I wouldn't know. But I would have thought that like this is separate from you. This is a character that belongs to this universe.
This is going to be a ridiculous example, and I'm trying to learn to not use ridiculous examples to emphasize a point. Something that I do quite often is use an extreme example to give a very clear-cut version of the point I'm trying to make. I'm going to do it now, but just bear in mind it's an extreme example for a reason. I'm trying to make it really obvious what I'm trying to say. So, you know, if Keanu Reeves was playing Vanya Hargreaves, beard and all, but that's who they thought would be the best person to play that female character, a male actor playing a female character. They thought they'll be the best person to portray this female character. And then they did, and everyone was like, right, okay, yeah, nice casting, whatever. We're cool with this.
All right.
Where's the problem there? Do you see any problem here? It don't matter, does it?
Well, no. I mean, if we agreed that like he did a good job with it, then like
yeah. So
whatever.
the
It's
fact
like,
that
fine.
Elliot Page now identifies as a man, why does that have to mean that their character has to be any different?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. But like, then again, I'm not a trans person, so I don't know how that feels. Maybe that is a big
another thing
deal.
that I struggle with that is, just because you're part of a community that's relevant to something doesn't mean you necessarily know what's right for it as well. You know, like I'm not saying that. I'm not seeing any differently either. It makes you more likely to know what's right for it, but who knows what's right in general? Then we'll get into massive philosophy. But my point is that in the context of this actor's journey, I'll get out with it. You don't know what happens. The character transitions as well. The character just out of nowhere comes down with shorter hair and is like, I want to be called Victor now. And they're all like, all right. And they don't. No one has a problem with it or anything like that. It don't make a difference to the story. But that's kind of partially the problem in the context of what we know about the actor playing this thing. It's quite obviously, well, they've transitioned, so we're going to make their character transition. It's like, what? Why? Why are we wasting time on this? What's going on here?
I thought if they were gonna do it at all, I thought it would be some like cool shit, like whoa, it's alternate reality, fucking Vanya, and this.
And do you know what's even
Victor.
Worse? It genuinely could have been because one of the. There's no point you watching this series, so I'm going to do bits of spoilers for you.
Okay, I don't really care.
Kind of spoilers from now on, but not really. It happens in the first episode. They travel back forward in time to their normal time. Normal kind of times, like 2020, whatever. But because they've done a split timeline, the father of the Umbrella Academy has different kids now. And
I know that.
Right?
I know that because it happened in the last episode, yeah.
And one of the ones that was in the Umbrella Academy, Ben, the Asian one, he's in the Sparrow Academy. So they could have had a male version of Vanya as well. They could have had one of those in the Sparrow Academy. They could have done that. You know, there was like a really obvious way they could have done it in a cool way as well, which would have actually made use of the fact that your actor's changing. But they didn't do that.
It's just, you know,
it's happened. Way of doing it.
It's happened again. Once again, we've seen another absolute dogshit mishandling of a fucking trans character. Again, we've seen another one.
I know, and it's just
why are we becoming trans activists? Why is this channel
the only thing that character transitioning was for is like, oh, that's what their actor looks. Their actor wants to do that, so their character's going to want to do that. That's even less suspension of disbelief. Like, that's even... Now all I'm seeing is, Elliot Page said this. You couldn't even remember their name. Because you couldn't even remember the character's name.
I couldn't.
Because
I couldn't. I think I can remember all of this.
That's so shit. I can remember Arthur Fleck because Joaquin Phoenix did a fucking brilliant job of feeling like the Joker, you know?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that, and it's just... I just don't think it's a useful way of handling it at all. If it created some sort of story element that made it worth wasting screen time on, then sure. But don't try and force the story around it either. Don't force the story around it, and don't waste pointless time with it. An actor should be able to play any gender if that's what they need to do for that role. I think it's quite simple, and it's just... The only reason we're talking about it so much is it's more of a hot button issue. It's not my least favourite thing about this series. It's mostly the acting and the kind of janky story.
We're just saying this to get everybody riled up, and then this will get traction, and then we'll get famous, and then we'll become like the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, it'll be more like the fucking
Mario
two
Brothers.
guys. The two guys that are like Da Vinci. Have you seen?
Oh
you know
God, is that
yeah.
the Island
Yeah.
Boys? Is that who they are?
I don't know who. I don't actually know they are. I just know. I just know
The
that
Da
fucking
Vinci guys. Those
Da
ones.
Vinci. I just know
Oh,
them because of
God.
that.
But yeah, Umbrella Academy Season 3, definitely... Oh, I forgot to mention, within the first 10 minutes of the show, this shows how silly it's kind of getting as well, which is a bit annoying. I know silliness was an element of it before.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just not... It's not funny or kind of, like, quirky or makes the world feel cool. It just feels, like, silly. And it feels almost a bit like boomer humor, but kind of for kids. Does that make sense? Like, kind of stuff that you could see kids liking, but I think boomers think that. Stuff that boomers might think kids would like.
Yeah.
And they've decided that sort of humor's right. In the first 10 minutes or so of the first episode, there's a full dance number to the Footloose theme tune. And it's just
nice.
like, ugh. And it's that whole cop-out thing of, it basically, it does make kind of sense in that it was a vision someone was having to demonstrate someone's powers. So it does make sense. But, like, did you need that? Did it need to be a full length, the entire song, dance number?
It reminds me of the fucking. Do you remember the gag on Family Guy where Peter goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty," and he plays the entire song, and it's just not funny.
And they did it so many times on Family Guy that every time they started to do it again, it was like, oh my God, it was funny how long it was the first time. This time, it's literally just pain. And it got so painful for them that they started cutting it as well. So yeah, Umbrella Academy. That's the summary. That'd be my review of Umbrella Academy Season 3. Kind of like the Conway Twitty gag from Family Guy.
Yeah. Where you're just like, oh my God, just get on with it.
It kind of doesn't make sense. It's a bit silly and just like drawn out and a bit convoluted.
Yeah.
Oh dear, you seen any interesting people about lately, Judd?
I got a real man for you. I got a real gentleman.
Here we go then.
Freak of the week.
This segment is Freak of the Week. It's where Judd tells us about a freaky individual that he's bumped into, and we hear all about them for the appreciation of the freaky freaks, the freakiest folks around.
I wouldn't even bother buckling your seatbelts or anything right now, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a pretty quick one. This will be a quick ride. But this happened like 3 hours ago, so this is a hot one. This is fresh on the plate. So I visited my friend Tom because I had this book that had a bunch of nerdy rules about my nerdy nerd game in it, and I wanted to give it to Tom so he could have a look. So I was parked up in this like Tesco car park area, and there's like these stairs at the back of it where you can sort of get up and easily get up to sort of near where Tom lives. And I was coming back down these stairs, and at the bottom of these stairs there's a guy, and you're gonna have to describe to the people at home this movement that I'm about to do, Jake. But this guy was stood at the bottom of these stairs, and he was stood there with this big sort of wooden. It looked like a wooden heart ornament, like a garden ornament.
That Judge, you're too close.
Okay, sorry. How's that?
Yeah, go.
You good?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, fine.
Yeah. So it was like a wooden garden ornament that was shaped like a heart, and I don't know if he's bought this or stolen it, but the guy stood there at the bottom of these stairs, and he's doing this movement. I think
like a humping motion.
It's kind of more like swinging. The hips were sometimes in motion, but it was more about the swinging the arms. And he's swinging this heart back and forth, and he's
in front of his face and down near to his hips.
Yeah,
and he's
and he's sort of just going.
Oh no!
Like that.
This person's got a disability, haven't they? Oh dear.
Well, no, I don't think it was a disability. I think it was on something because it didn't look like he didn't look like he had anything mentally wrong with it, apart from the fact that he was probably shooting up smack into his dick. But like, it was just stood there like with his heart like swinging his. fucking arms about. So I'm stood at the top of these stairs, like staring at this guy, and he has no idea I'm there. And I'm like stood for a good 20 seconds, and I just think, you know what? I'd have to walk too close to this guy to like go down these stairs. I don't want to be anywhere near this fucking guy. I'm just afraid he'll like lunge forward and like take a bite. He'll just like take a bite out of my neck or something. So I'm gonna. I just walked the long way around.
Where was this? How? Because you said it was recently. How far away was this from you?
It was in Hoyland.
Oh, that I should know where that is. That doesn't help me.
Okay. Well, it was there. So.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah. So I got down to my car and the guy was still there doing it. So I was like, all right, whatever. Good on you, man. So, but there you go. So that was.
Legend has it he's there to this day.
He probably is still there. It was only 3 hours ago, so it's actually a good possibility he's still there fucking doing it.
If he was on the right kind of smack, he would be.
If it was good smack, then he'd still be doing it.
Exactly. Oh. Just on Umbrella Academy, by the way, this season has made me bring it down from an 85 to a 78, which is quite a chunk.
I liked it. It doesn't...
Before this season, I liked it more than The Boys. And after this season, I definitely don't like it as much as The Boys in total.
Yeah.
But
and The Boys. Come on now, The Boys. Oh my God.
I've not seen the latest episode.
I think it's the best thing on television right now. I gotta be honest.
The latest series, like the first series, was pretty fucking good. Second series, just not quite as interesting apart from the end bit. And then this third series has been pretty fucking cool as well. Like I would put it around as on par as the first series, maybe. Maybe even slightly better.
But you've not seen the Hero Gasm episode, and you kind of have to watch the Hero Gasm episode. It's like it's really fucking good.
Okay.
So
well, we'll see. Do you know what I'm waiting for? We're ready for now. Season 2 of Invincible. I'm ready for that shit.
What did I say about that? I think I saw that they were in the booth recording it, is what I saw, and that it was like pretty much all recorded. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
So, what's the matter with you? You fucking
what's
creature.
Hey, so what's the matter, you?
Yeah, what's the matter with you, you fucking degenerate? No, what I mean by that is, I had midsummer celebrations. I like to do the Swedish holiday midsummer, and I invite people around, and we have a barbecue. We have fish and meatballs. We dress in white, wear us flower crowns, all of that junk. Judd was invited this year, and you got a fucked stomach or some shit.
I got a fucking shit stomach. If our long time Seattle fan base will know that I have a fucked stomach, and it went off again. And I was looking forward to it. I was ready. I'd like got my hair cut nice and everything. I got my
you buy some
beard
booze?
shaped. I did. I bought a load of booze for it. I picked out white clothes for it, and I was ready to go. And probably about an hour before, maybe even less, maybe even like half an hour, I was on the toilet and I was shitting my guts out, and I was like, I can't go. If I start drinking, like,
the thing is with this, if there's only so much you can shit, you know. So once you've got all the shit out, you'd be good to go.
It's not. I'm afraid that's not how it. It's because it's not just me shitting. Like my stomach. Like it really hurts. Like when I'm like that and I drink as well, it really hurts. I was out a couple of weeks ago, and I'd already been out. I managed to stay out until about 1, but at about 11:30 or 12, like every time I just like drank anything, it was just like it hurt my stomach. So
I was saying, I said to a couple of people when they were like, when you weren't coming, and I explained why, I was saying, I'm getting a bit worried though, because if his stomach is like this, it might force you to eat a bit better, and then you might become the skinny one, and then you can just do all the fat jokes at me, and I don't know how I'll feel about that one.
The thing is as well, I'm dreading that just as much as you, because that means that I have to drop all the fatty foods and get skinny.
Yeah, I mean, you
Fuck-
already do a
fuck-
job that's
fuck
basically a workout every day.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. That's the reason why I sort of managed to maintain a bit of like a potbelly, almost dad bod kind of thing going. Because if I didn't have this job, I'd just like become this. I'd fuse to this chair that I'm sat on. I'd just become this disgusting, fat, greasy blob thing. But if I didn't eat the way I did, and I still did this job, I'd be some sort of like Herculean god. I'd be like, like the Chad meme where it's like obviously really photoshopped.
Yeah, because normally the worst thing with it is like beer, isn't it? Like beer, having a beer belly, but rest of you looking pretty strong when you do like a building lift, like labourer job like you do. But the thing is, if your belly's so fucked, you might not be able to drink beer or even alcohol at all. So
I can't. So,
or you might be gluten intolerant as well, so it might force you to like not have bread and shit like that. You might have to actually eat some leaves and some decent meat, and that's it. So that's like really good for you. So oh god,
I know. I don't know because the thing is, I'll eat like a full pizza. And I'll be fine. So I don't know. And then I'll like the day when I was supposed to be coming through to yours. I think I had a bacon sandwich. God, I might have. No, I just had a bacon sandwich because you were having a barbecue, so I didn't have anything else. So fuck knows. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
don't get it.
It's a weird one. It is weird because, so far as I know, it's like hit or miss. Like sometimes beer sets it off, but not always. Like it's like half of the time, and then the other half is fine. So
I drank last night. I drank last night, and I was fine. I shat quite bad today.
Yeah, but that could be regular beer shit. It's like everyone.
Yeah, that it could.
You know?
That it could. That could be it. Because like my stomach's fine now. I'm not like in pain or anything. So
yeah,
it's. I don't know.
It's a weird one, but if you can manage to get a doctor's appointment in our fucking country, because like Jesus Christ, thanks Tories, it'd be worth like getting that checked out. You might have to ring 111. That's something you can do. But yeah, don't ask our dad's girlfriend Natalie, because she'll claim some right bollocks about you. You know, she's a yoga instructor. You know, that kind of person. You know, she's probably read a horoscope.
No, you know what? No, she's not. I don't think that's fair. I don't think she's as bad as like. I don't think I'd be like.
She's a vegetarian, gluten-free eater.
No, I know.
She'll be like, oh, you should just cut out gluten for like 9 years and see if that sorts you out.
Yeah. I could see her saying that, but the way you were going at it, I thought I'd say to her like, help, I'm shitting blood from my arsehole, and she'd be like, how are your chakras? Like,
she
that's
might.
What it sounds
she might. You know? Just kind of like that a bit. I'm trying to paint a picture for the audience, you know? But I don't know. Midsummer was all right anyway. We actually ate all the food, to be honest. So there was supposed to be you and one other person coming, and so that we were 2 people down. So I think there would have been enough food, but you know, we weren't. We managed to eat it all anyway. I kind of burnt the meatballs quite a bit because I put like I put 20, 40, I put 72 meatballs on one disposable barbecue. And then, like, smoke was going everywhere, so I couldn't see them at all. And I was trying to flip them over, and there was no room on this barbecue. But they were still fine. They were still all right. Food was pretty good. I think you would have liked it with some ketchup and that. We did a little quiz and stuff. That was quite good. We tried the local pub, which we've not been to yet. It was all quite nice. Not much to report, really. Just a nice time. The only thing that I think is kind of interesting is because everyone who came isn't aware of any sort of Swedish traditions or anything like that, we placed one tradition in there that was complete bollocks.
Okay.
And we said that one of the traditions is you have to take, like, there's this thing you have to take home, but we're gonna leave it a surprise for you. Okay. And what it actually was is that my girlfriend had bought us a massive, unnecessarily big bag of potatoes, and these potatoes are fucking huge. And like, it's not a bad idea because it costs like £1.30 for about 200 potatoes,
Yeah,
which is
I know
good
the
value
yeah.
food, but there's so fucking many potatoes. So we gave one to everyone to take home with them. Pretending that's it's like a parting gift, traditional parting gift.
Trying to unload these fucking potatoes. Nice, I like that.
And everyone didn't question it once. We just gave them,
Yeah.
and they're like, "All right, okay."
Yeah. No, I could totally get. I would have fallen for that. I would have looked at it and gone, yeah, the Swedes.
All right,
Yeah, I would have gone, yeah,
potato.
Swedish. Yeah.
Because they'd do something like that.
Yeah.
So
And
that was quite fun.
I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, I'd come home and I'd be like, yo, Jake gave me a potato, and my granddad would be like, why? And I'd be like, I don't know, the Swedes fucking do it, and they'd be like, oh, cool, well, there you go, there's dinner. So we'd get eaten.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, though, we have been eating jacket potatoes for lunch for so long, and we're like about halfway down the bag now, even after giving them out to people as well. And jacket potatoes are fine, but like,
yeah.
There's only so many I can take. There's still like a good 50 potatoes left. So, yeah, we'll be eating those for about another month or two. But it was pretty decent. Midsummer. There you go, midsummer.
Yes.
Lovely. Delicious. Nice. Awesome. Cool.
Well,
I also gave Judd an offer today of because we had a leftover barbecue to come over and have burgers before the podcast, but it couldn't be asked.
No, I couldn't be asked because I work on a building site and I've been carrying fucking 40-kilo boards up 6 flights of stairs like all day. So no, I'm gonna sit here. I'm in my pajama bottoms. And no.
I thought you would have liked to. You could have worn your pajama bottoms. I thought you'd have liked to come and just sit in garden with a nice cold drink, having a nice delicious burger cooked up for you, and then podcasts just up here anyway. That's no different.
That's like a weekend thing for me. That I'd like to do that as a way to relax on the weekend.
Yeah.
On after days like that, I just want to be left alone. Kind of like it's just like, look, right, it's been a long and hard day. I'm going to lock myself in a room, and that is fine. So
it's fair enough. I do get that. I'm locked in a room all day anyway, and I still only want that after I've done work. So yeah, I suppose. I had to stop off at a service station recently on the way home from work. And I had a deep memory triggered in my brain. I have to stop off at this service station.
I love it when that happens. By the way, it scratches an itch for me, and it's like, oh yeah, that's like a new thing. Yeah.
This might scratch it for you. It's do you remember back in the day when we were younger? You know those like things where you'd put a coin in it and you'd rotate the little doohickey, and then one of those like balls would pop out, and you get your little prize out of the ball. Well, they have those sorts of things in certain toilets, and it were more common at motorway service stations, where you'd put a little bit of money in, and you'd twist the doohickey, and you get a little ball, and inside it was a chewable toothbrush.
Yes.
You remember those?
I do remember those.
They were always a massive mystery to me, because I'm like, I don't know, there's just something intriguing about, like, how does this fucking thing work?
I've got one. I've had one before.
I'm sure I remember us being really intrigued by them when we were younger and begging our dad to get us some because we were so interested. Do you remember this happening? I've got some weird flashback of it.
I do. We were at Meadowhall.
Were we?
We were in the toilets at Meadowhall. We'd been walking around shopping. And we'd gone in there for a little bit, just to have a piss and a big old shit. Not in the same cubicle, in separate cubicles. But
so you took a piss, and then you went into a separate cubicle to do your big old shit.
No, I was saying we were doing them in separate. We came out and we saw them. And like the thing, and we're just like, we want one. Dad, buy us the fucking
buy us this weird toothbrush.
And
I'm sure I remember being like, why? Like it's just like, why do you want that?
No, of course he was. Of course he was like, why the fuck do you want? Did you not brush your teeth? Do you not what? Like, why do you want? And it's like, no, it's just like we've seen them like and they're like quite weird. They're like the concept of them, and we just like to try one. It's like, all right, you fucking weirdos, fine. And
it was this little kind of like, it were basically like a all plastic toothbrush head. You know, like the top of a normal toothbrush that you'd kind of just put between your teeth and just kind of like grind your teeth together. Yeah. And it was a bit minty flavored. I don't think those things were any good.
You'd like sort of grind your teeth with it. So this thing's like being grind between your teeth, and you'd like chew on it a bit, and it'd like break up all the this toothpastey stuff, this like hard toothpaste stuff, and that is what would clean your mouth.
Yeah, but really fucking weird. It's odd because they sell toothbrushes and toothpaste in service stations, and it's probably just about the same amount of money.
I know. I don't know if it's just like I'm a trucker. I've been on the road for 48 hours straight. I've not slept. I'm going all the way to France, Paris, France.
And you fancy a chewable toothbrush?
Yeah. You're like, my breath stinks. At the next surface station, I said I'd meet this guy so I could blow him, and obviously I want to have nice breath for when I blow him. So
what I'm saying is, if you want to blow the dude, you can just get an actual toothbrush and toothpaste and use the water in the bathroom. You can just brush your teeth.
Yeah, I know, but it might be on a tight budget. It might be.
No, but what I'm saying is, these things weren't cheap.
I gotta pay £2 for a toothbrush, and then like fucking. I don't know.
No, toothbrush at £2.
Yeah, but then you have to buy toothpaste as well.
60 pence and £1, £1.40. Those chewable toothbrush things were like £2. Maybe
£2? I thought they were
Maybe
like.
Not.
I thought you like put in like 20 pence and you turn the thing, or a pound.
The
at
days
most.
of the 20 pence may as well not even exist in our country anymore. Nothing costs 20 pence anymore. Not even a fucking Freddo. So it's, you know, fucking right. State of the economy. Am I right? That same service station, I filled up with petrol that was £2.05 a litre. Good God! Do you even look at the petrol prices when you have a look?
No, you know what? I try not to. I kill 4 people when I drive into a gas station because I just close my eyes during the whole fucking thing. I don't want to look at any of it. So
God, it's ridiculous because I remember when I got my new car. I've had it not quite 2 years now, so in less than 2 years, we were seeing it go up to like over £1.40 a litre, and I'm thinking, fuck me, that's gone up so much. Because I swear to God, like in 2020, it was below £1.20 at points. I swear it was. And now we're literally over £2 in not that, you know, it's not too ridiculous to see it being over £2.
Yeah.
I find that it's utterly insane.
It is. It's crazy.
I suppose some of the argument would be,
yeah, but do you complain about your petrol price when Ukraine's struggling in a war?
Yeah, just because one thing's worse than another doesn't mean you can't be unhappy about one bad thing. Yes, war is worse. Yes, much worse. But that doesn't mean I'm happy about my petrol price going up. You know, it still kind of sucks.
I had to have a 5% increase in tax on my private island. I'm suffering as well. We're all.
You know, it's like, you know what? If rich person wants to complain about like someone cheating him out of 20, you know Elon Musk. If someone scammed him out of £20 and he was like, "What the fuck?" And people are like, "No, you've got billions, and then there's people starving out here. It's way worse for them." It's like, well, yeah. I'm upset about that as well, and I'm more upset about that. Yeah. But I don't want my £20 stealing as well. That kind of sucks. You know, more than one thing can be bad. I don't know why I've just outraged myself with this. This is part of my problem of existence. I get myself pissed off at things people haven't even said to me.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. I was gonna go, Jake. You know, you're sat here arguing with yourself. You're literally arguing with no one. There's no one here.
Because I will
There's no one here.
Be sat in a room on my own
you know the bit in Joker. Speaking of Joker, you know the bit in Joker when Arthur Fleck's just smashing his head against the fucking cell wall. That's what you're doing. It's just like there's nobody here. What the fuck?
It is scary that like at points I will genuinely just have an argument of both sides to myself. Like, I'll argue both sides of an argument to myself. Do you know what's been getting me recently with that sort of thing, though? Joe fucking Rogan. Because I've been scrolling, because I don't particularly like to look on TikTok, because the type of stuff that's on there don't interest me that much.
Yes.
But I will scroll through YouTube Shorts sometimes.
Yeah,
not very often.
I get that as well. Like, that's weird.
But the thing that it's tried to suggest to me the most is Joe Rogan clips. And he'll say the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Honestly. He's the dumbest smart guy I've ever fucking seen. And this one, the two that is like, he bangs on about DMT all the time.
Yeah,
and
it's
as
like...
if that is almost like a lot of evidence that there might be another like dimension or something like that. I'm like, no. And he's trying to make out like there's no way that the human consciousness could have ever come up with anything like this. And then he's like, and he's saying that while showing us a painting someone's done that's like it. And I'm like,
yeah.
They have then. You're literally telling us someone's come up with something that's like it, while telling us no one could ever come up with something like this.
Yeah, look at this thing I'm showing you that my friend fucking just painted. Nobody could. The human mind could. It's like, oh my god, he's stupid. It's like, look, okay, right. I like drugs. I like them. Drugs are not the world.
But
drugs do not
drugs.
have.
No one should do drugs. Not advocating for them.
Drugs
you should not like what Jude likes.
You're never gonna find answers to anything through. Actually, you know what? That I can't actually say that. I watched I watched a show on. No, I didn't know. I'm not saying anything I did. I watched a show on Netflix. I don't know if I ever talked about this on the podcast, but it was about they were studying magic mushrooms being used as a way. Did I talk about this?
No, but I think I know the type of thing that.
Okay, yeah. So they were using psychedelic mushrooms as a way to treat depression, and there was this. It didn't work for everybody, which I thought was cool that they showed that. They were like, "Look, this obviously doesn't work for everybody. We're fucking just throwing shit at wall and seeing what sticks here."
Yeah.
So it's fine. But it worked for a couple of people, and one of the guys, his first time that he did mushrooms, he had a trip where he imagined him and his dad sort of almost playfully, sort of like. I want to. The term "casting out" seems like they're banishing her, but like in a way that's kind of like what was happening. But it was more just like, yeah, we don't need mum in our lives, dad, do we? We don't. We're all right, just me and you, which was very touching. But then he came back again, and he did like twice the amount of mushrooms. Because like, right, we're gonna up the dose and like just see how it goes, and he remembered he'd repressed the memory of his dad coming into his room and trying to smother him to death with a pillow. Like he'd repressed it, and that's what was making him depressed. And like he's like, I remember it. He tried to kill me. He didn't want me as a kid. He never wanted me.
I know that sort of thing can happen. But this almost sounds like some weird set-up reality bullshit.
I mean, I'm not going to say that can't happen, can I? I can never sit here. I can't sit here and go, no, it's real. I know for a fact. But like,
I know.
So it all seemed legit. I mean, it was like filmed at a real place. It was like, this is a hospital. These are the doctors. These are the experiments. It all looked like legit. I don't want to, but So,
well, I saw an episode of, the Vsauce YouTube Premium show. It's called Minefield.
Yes.
If you've not seen that, I'm pretty sure it's all for free now on the Vsauce channel. It's a fucking great show, that. And one of the things that Michael did on that was he went, I think it's called ayahuasca, and I think this is something Joe Rogan's talked about before as well.
I know that, ayahuasca, yeah.
I don't know if it's the exact thing that Michael was doing, as like an investigative thing on like, brain and all sorts of stuff to do with it. But that was investigated there, and that was pretty interesting, but he definitely didn't come to any conclusions of, there might be another reality that I'm stepping into here. No, you're just high, It's like, we can quite easily come up with this shit. Like, if you literally look at the quantum realm in Ant-Man and look at what Joe Rogan is saying, oh, no one could come up with this shit. No one could do it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's there. Look, Marvel, there you go. They did it. It's quite easy. I can do it right now. Look, I can draw you a spiral. It's not hard. Fucking hell. But another one that that I saw that's not quite as famous that he's talked about is they'll go on these tangents like people have definitely done something. It's something as if it's definitely true. Like he'll say, "Oh, have you seen these massive chimps that they found in the remote areas of Bosnia or some shit?" And the guest will be like, "Oh yeah, what? Right, wow." And he's saying they've found these things as if it's definitely true. He knows it for certain. They found these huge chimps, and they've got they're like way bigger than normal ones, and it like makes you think like, were they like, how human were they and all this? And I'm thinking, Joe, my boy. It's a gorilla! You ever heard of a gorilla, Joe?
Joe, listen to me really carefully, buddy. They found a big monkey. That's what happened. That's all that happened, man.
It's like you take him to the zoo and he blows his fucking mind.
Oh my god, look at that thing!
It's like, what the fuck is that? It's aliens! It can't be anything else. There's no other explanation. It's ridiculous. Aliens, though, it's like that's another one that he said. The pyramids. He's like, oh, they could be aliens, that's done that. It's like, and his argument is they're so big and like a pyramid shaped that if they messed up like once at the bottom, it wouldn't line up at the top. And it's like, well. Not necessarily. You can kind of fix that. You don't have to redo the entire pyramid if that's a problem. Plus, they just worked it out first. They just had decent math for ancient civilizations.
I know. It's like, look, it's fucking. Once again, it's people just fucking really underselling what humans are capable of, like what they can do. If we weren't so fucking just shit, we weren't just like shit at you. We're quite capable as human folk. We're all right.
It's ridiculous. Another argument he had for it was, if we today placed 10 of these big stones, a day, it'd take us 600 years to build this pyramid still. And I'm thinking, well, yeah. We'd place like 10,000, you fucktard. Like, we can place so many more than 10 rocks down a day now. Like, are you kidding me? One person with the right technology could place 10 of those stones down a day.
I know.
And given,
it's fucking
like,
crazy.
the amount of technology we've got, it would still take a while. It might take us a good 10 years. But, like, it probably did take ancient Egyptians 1,000 years to do it. It's crazy.
It really annoys me because it's. Do you not find it sad, the idea that he's almost taken away this accomplishment of. I know it was like made through like slavery and shit, but like this thing that was made by human hands, this achievement of technology and knowledge and human perseverance, and this guy's saying, "Oh no, E.T. came down and he fucking played Tetris with a bunch of blocks." It's like you not only is it ridiculous, but you're also robbing us humanity of a phenomenal achievement.
The only understanding bit is that it's so amazing what was done that it's hard to believe. Like, I get that, and I get how like that's kind of driven him to think maybe it was something else. I get that. But then when you keep thinking through more, no, there's the thing that you're trying to think that it could be instead is more unbelievable. Like, it's more ridiculous. And it's similar to like when I saw a little clip of him talking to Elon Musk and the whole idea of like aliens, because Elon Musk's spaceman is doing space shit.
Yeah.
And Elon, that's like, are you worried about space travel or anything like that? And he was like, no.
He's just like,
no. And then he goes, why not? And he's like, just don't think about it. He's like, well, what if you at some point accidentally like encountered them through space travel? He'd be like, and then he goes, yeah, I'd be like, this is new information.
Yeah.
And the main thing is that he said, well, if there is aliens out there, they're fucking subtle. Like, you know, like if they really wanted us to know, or if, like, even if they existed, they could come down and like be like, "Yo, what's up?"
I feel like I do think there is alien life. Even the idea of fauna on another planet is technically alien life. If you want to fucking say that shit,
Yeah.
Or you know, just like fish and stuff. But I do actually think that there is actually intelligent life on different planets. It's just,
well, statistically, there just has to be.
There just has to be, but the thing is, they're obviously so far away from us that they'll never factor into our existence at all. So it's like, what does it matter?
If they're not, then what's the likelihood that they've got technology capable of communicating with us? Yeah. I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be as advanced. It could be just as advanced, but completely incompatible with our technology. You know,
it's also
there's all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, it's also like if they've got the level of technology to be close to us but be this undetectable and remain this secretive, then they've also obviously know what the fuck they're doing. And it's like, if they've got that level of technology and they haven't used it on us, it's like they're obviously not fucking planning on. So
yeah,
whatever.
It's just, honestly, I find him wacky. It's so ridiculous. Some of the dumb shit he comes out with. But do you think that that's like part of it? Do you think he's kind of doing it on purpose at this point a bit?
I don't know, because it's like you questioning the fucking magic mushroom thing. I question internet personalities a lot, because it's like Nick. Is it Nico Avocado?
Yeah,
is that how
Nico
you say his full name?
Yeah.
Is that real? Is that all real?
I think most of the time, it always comes out that it's an exaggerated version of themselves. That's what comes out almost every time, isn't it? And I think that is an exaggerated version of that guy, a very exaggerated version. But what I'm getting at more is it's like it seems fruitful to be a provocateur on the internet. You know, if you throw out a hot take as if you believe it, you don't actually even have to believe it. You can like kind of maybe believe it, so long as you believe it a little bit, even if not wholly, and throw it out there. You'll get loads of interaction, whether that's haters or people who actually feel vindicated that they can agree with this hot take as well. And I just wonder if he's doing that or not, because he's almost got this persona that's built as like, he's real though. He says what he actually thinks and he's like realistic about stuff. But if you're being a provocateur and saying stuff that you don't actually properly believe, that's just gonna, you know, get people talking and people like thinking, what the fuck are you on about? Then that's not being real, is it? So it's a weird one. You see it a lot, actually. I've been seeing it in Apex Legends communities, people like having hot takes on stuff just to get more likes on Twitter. And it's just kind of like, I find it a bit cringe. It's a little bit like that whoosh
in it, bro.
You know?
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what. I don't even want to. I don't care.
There's some.
It just sounded boring.
Yeah, it pretty much is. There's some YouTube boxing coming up, Judd. We might have to watch some of it. We'll see.
I don't fucking care. Who is it?
Jake Paul is supposed to be fighting Tommy Fury. Do you know who Tommy Fury is?
No.
So, you know Jake Paul. Tyson Fury.
Okay, I was going to ask if there was a relation.
There is. So... It's his younger brother. So Tommy Fury's Tyson Fury's half brother. You're the Tommy Fury if I'm Tyson Fury. But Tommy Fury he's been doing boxing a while. I think he's 10-0 or something like that. He's won 10 fights, lost none. He was on Love Island most famously. What do you think of that?
Alright.
Have you ever seen a single episode of Love Island?
No, I don't think I've seen it on the TV.
You've seen that it is on TV.
I've walked past a room where it has been on the TV and I've seen it on the TV. That's as close as I've come to any sort of interaction with Love Island.
Well, it's one of those. You know how I have a guilty pleasure of that kind of like X on the Beach. It's one of those where it's like a guilty pleasure. I've watched some of it, and I kind of like it as well. I don't mind it, actually. I don't watch it all the time, because it goes on for like 2 months, and it's on 6 out of 7 days, and it's like an hour an episode. So there's so much of it, but every so often I'll tune into a season of it.
I like your justification of why you watch it though, because you're like, well, these people usually suck, so it's like when they're just fucking shit to each other, and it's like car crash TV. It's great. So
yeah, it's good because it's like
they're
whatever,
all
nice looking, so that's nice to look at. They're all pricks, so you want to see them having a bad time, and they're going to have a bad time because they're on that show because it makes for better content. So. Quite fun. But he was on that anyway, and so he's seen as like, if Jake Paul fights him, he's like the first real boxer that Jake Paul will have fought. You know, because he's fought YouTubers, MMA guys, a better MMA guy, and then everyone's like, oh, but if you fight a real boxer, you know, you'll have loads of problems. So he's like, well, perfect. He's got a big audience from Love Island and Instagram and all of that, and he's a real boxer. He's literally related to Tyson Fury. So... yeah, and there's been a fair amount of people saying that Jake Paul could win that fight, and I think he could. It'll be a really difficult test. And Tommy Fury's better technically with his boxing, but Jake Paul's got the power on him. And one of the biggest shots that Tommy Fury's susceptible to being hit with is a big overhand right, which is what Jake Paul's knocked out every one of his opponents with. So there's all of this going on. So that should be happening soon. Apart from the fact that Tommy Fury's having trouble getting into America at all. Tyson Fury's banned at the minute from getting into America. He's not permanently banned, but at the minute he is. And Tommy Fury's dad has been banned for fucking 15 years for like biting someone's eye out or some shit.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking mental. If you look up John Fury, you'd love John Fury. John Fury. He's Tyson Fury's dad. He's fucking mental. In the last time that Jake Paul and Tommy Fury were supposed to fight, it got cancelled for an injury. But in some of the press conference, John Fury was there, and one of the things he said was, "When our Tommy knocks you out and beats shit out of you, he's gonna take your missus and bend her over and shag her like a dog." He's such a character. He's fucking mental, but. That's that one. So then there's going to be a Nissan Gibb versus Austin McBroom. These are people you won't know as much, but Nissan Gibb's a staple of the YouTube boxing scene.
I have heard that name before.
And Austin McBroom's like a scammy kind of guy from America. It'll be quite fun. I hope that Gibb wins that, and I think he definitely could. And then KSI on the comeback fight. As well. This is all this summer. This is all within the span of like a month or two.
This summer.
Exactly. We don't know who he's fighting yet, but we think that the front runner is probably the guy who just beat Deji last, Alex Wasabi. So that's them. Only one of those. What?
Not iDubbbz then. Not iDubbbz or.
But you know, I mean, iDubbbz could fight like could fight someone from one of the other cards. It would be interesting to see iDubbbz fight again, actually. I don't know who he could fight.
Did he keep any of it up? Like any of the training?
It won't have yet, but it's not been that long relatively since. If KSI beats Alex Wasabi and Alex Wasabi wants to fight again, he could fight iDubbbz maybe. Or if Deji wants to try fighting again, he could fight iDubbbz. So that iDubbbz can get a win because fucking Deji.
I was just gonna say, could you imagine iDubbbz just like wailing on fucking Deji, like beating the absolute?
Deji's got a bit more technical skill, but he's just fucking.
He'd fuck it up somehow. He'd not train properly and fucking. I don't know. He'd probably trip over and fucking break his neck because it's a stupid.
Fight me, Deji. Honestly, I'd fight Deji now. Anyway, but that's the YouTube boxing. I think the only one that's in the UK will be the KSI fight, so, you know, might be worth coming over to watch that at some point when it's on. We'll see. We'd get some fucking banger videos out of it as well, because our channel has hit over 3,000 views now, maybe 4,000 at this point, the YouTube channel, and that's pretty much all down to the iDubbbz boxing fights, so that's pretty good. Nice. Anyway, that's I think that's a podcast. I think we're done with that. Any final words?
Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know off. Fuck off.
That was such a genuine fuck off. I was like, just fuck off. Just leave me alone.